Hey, it's Zane, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. In today's video, I want to talk about the two greatest threats to your livelihood, your savings, your retirement account, and your income. And this is really important because we are in the midst of a great wealth transfer, a great wealth shift. We're also in the midst of a transition into automation and AI and robotics, and this is happening at breakneck speed. And so it's really important right now to be understanding the implications of not just AI, but also currencies, the Australian dollar, the US dollar, the euro, being debased to the point where people's purchasing power is being absolutely decimated. And so this has implications for how things are going to shape up into the future. And it's really important, like I said, that you are really paying attention to what's going on right now, and you are making transitions yourself in your own life that will accommodate these transitions, these trends that we're seeing right now. Now, the first point I want to make is in regards to AI. And this all ties into Bitcoin and why Bitcoin is the ultimate Life-Raft escape and the solution that you and I need to really be paying attention to, learning about, deploying capital savings into as much as we possibly can right now, and taking it into self-custody so that we can become as sovereign and as robust and as autonomous and as detached from the central control system that we can possibly be. Point number one, the death of human capital. AI is driving the cost of human capital to zero. With AI, what do we have? We have automations, we have efficiencies, we have all of a sudden companies who are starting to realize that they can get things done infinitely more efficiently than employing human labor. And this is why, as time goes on, in the next few years, we're going to see many industries, professions, different factions of the labor market that are going to be displaced. And many people are completely oblivious to this, and they don't realize that this is going to happen essentially overnight. And so you have to be paying attention to this. Why on earth, if you're a company, if you're a corporation, why would you go and hire a clerk or a paralegal or a copywriter or an architect or somebody like that? Why on earth would you hire that person and pay them $80,000 to $100,000 to $150,000 per year and deal with all the implications of hiring people and payroll and sick leave and 4 weeks holiday a year and superannuation and them having good and bad days, calling in sick? Why would you deal with all of that when you can essentially do the same thing for zero cost using AI? And this is what's coming. And I was talking to an architect last week on one of my one-on-one Zoom calls, my coaching calls that I offer, and he was telling me that he predicts that his industry is going to be really displaced by AI, and he even is of the view that it's going to be dead within 5 years. And that's really interesting. It's sad, but it's a reality of where we are now, and this is why you have to be really taking stock of every aspect of your life, your profession, how you're generating income, what you're invested in. Because you have to understand that through automation, AI, and robotics, the cost of human capital is going to become worth less and less and less as time goes on. And every sector is at risk. Every sector is at risk, particularly the unproductive sector, particularly the sectors that are, middle people, brokers, the finance industry, accountants, real estate agents, all of these middle people that essentially just shuffle paper from point A to point B, copywriters, all of these kinds of things. Like I said, architects, the legal profession, all of them are under threat from AI. And so it's important that we understand that if companies are able to generate greater efficiency and greater productivity by employing AI instead of human capital, what is that going to mean to the value of human capital? And you and I both know the answer to that. So I'm going to tie this back to Bitcoin and why Bitcoin is the solution towards the end of this video, but it's important to first understand the landscape and the environment and the trend that we're in right now. So the death of human capital. Number 2, your money is dying. Your money is dying. Now, what I mean by that is that governments and central banks are hollowing out. They're hollowing out your purchasing power. Governments and central banks are hollowing out your purchasing power through currency debasement, money printing, and this is not going to stop. We know that in 2008, the system died. The fiat system died in 2008, and it's essentially only been, or is only still alive, because it was propped up through artificial money printing, quantitative easing, that has been in overdrive since that time. So the system right now is terminally ill. It is on life support, and it's been that way for the past, 15, 16 years. But we're at the end of that cycle now, and you can see it all around you, and this is why we have this situation where we have this massive growing wealth gap. We have a housing crisis. The price of homes and the cost of living, all of these things are a function of money that is dying. And so it's really important to understand that this is not going to stop. And so you have to position yourself on the right side of this. Inflation's not going away. They can say it's under control, but you and I both know the truth. What they're saying is pure propaganda and lies. The real truth is, if you start pricing your life from today versus 5 years ago, what you realize is that inflation is running at so much more than 2 or 3%. Why don't we include housing into the basket of goods that helps us to determine the true inflation figure? Then you would see the truth. Let's include housing. Why wouldn't we include housing? Is it not a basic human need? The need for shelter, places to raise a family? Isn't that a basic human need and entitlement that we all should have? So instead of turning housing into a casino and eliminating it from the basket of goods that we assess to determine inflation, let's include housing in the mix and let's see what real inflation is running at. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think we should include housing in the inflation report? Of course we should. It's a basic human need. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Human beings need food and shelter. It's one of the base levels that we all need, and so it has to be included. And when you include it in there, you see the truth that inflation is running at more like 20%, not 2 or 3% like they're saying. So your money is dying. This is a function of money dying. House prices are going up. That is an illusion. What's really happening is currency is going down. Currency is going down. And this is not going to stop. Number 3, this means because the cost of human capital is going to zero and because of your money is dying, because they're continuing to debase the value of your time and energy through inflation, they're stealing your purchasing power. Because of this, the 2 new currencies of the future, the very near future, are going to be, number 1, infinite efficiency through AI and automation. You have to be embracing this as a way to make you more efficient and productive. So there's going to be winners and losers in all of this. People who are figuring out ways to become more efficient and productive, adding value to society, rather than just sitting there and waiting for this to eat them alive, and their industry and their profession are using it to their advantage. And so it's really important to understand that the new currency is going to be infinite efficiency, and so you want to position yourself as somebody who is infinitely efficient. AI is going to drive automation, and of course you and I both know that this is an unstoppable trend. This is not something that is just going to sort of blow over and pass us by. This is here to stay, and it is only going to get more and more pronounced. And so we have to be paying attention and integrating that into our professional lives right now, unless we want to be displaced, unless we want to be a casualty in all of this. The second currency, in addition to infinite efficiency, the second currency is absolute scarcity. So what is the antithesis, the opposite, to the Australian dollar, to the US dollar? Currencies that you and I don't control, but they have an impact on our life. What is the antithesis to those hyperinflationary currencies? The antithesis to that is a currency that cannot be debased, that is inherently scarce, fixed, finite, incorruptible, decentralized. That is what Bitcoin is. And so the two new currencies are infinite efficiency and absolute scarcity. And so you need to be positioning yourself in amongst these two trends. Bitcoin, being finite, incorruptible money, is the ultimate place, the ultimate safe haven, the ultimate escape, the ultimate life raft that you need to be positioning yourself in. Your value, your time, your energy, your retirement accounts, your savings, your capital. You have to be rotating that into something that cannot be controlled or corrupted. And that's what absolute scarcity means, and that's exactly what Bitcoin is. So, again, you must either drive efficiency or you must own scarcity. The name of the game is for you to either drive efficiency or to own scarcity, or both. If you really want to win in the new world, you have to do both. But if there's reasons why you're not able to drive efficiency, then that's fine. Just make sure that you are deploying into absolute scarcity. If you can do both, then you're absolutely going to win in this transition. And so what we have coming is what's known as the Great Harvest. And there's a book I often refer to that I've read recently called exactly that, The Great Harvest, by Adam Livingston, and it talks to all of this, how we are transitioning at a really fast pace into this automation where AI is going to disrupt so many industries, so many professions, so much of the labour market. It's going to supersede so many skill sets that people have relied on to build careers on. And unfortunately, a lot of people are asleep at the wheel and they don't see this, and they're going to be casualties in all of this. And not only that, not only do they not see this freight train coming that is going to displace their ability to earn income, but they also haven't figured out yet that they need to be deploying their savings into a financial monetary system that cannot be corrupted. And so it's a double whammy for people who are asleep at the wheel right now. And so my mission with these videos is just to keep you guys awake, to keep you awake to what's happening. I spend every single day educating myself, reading, furthering my knowledge, talking to people at the coalface. Every single day I meet new people that I've never met before. One-on-one people, one-on-one consultations on Zoom with people from all walks of life who are awake, not from me, but from their own accord. I may have helped to, I guess, push them along a little further, than they may have otherwise been. But it's not just me out there sharing this information. Unfortunately, there should be more people sharing this information, but that's just the way things are, and so I appreciate you being here. If you do want to book a call with me because you're looking to either get started in Bitcoin, to make greater progress on your Bitcoin journey, maybe you've made some mistakes, maybe you need help getting on the right track with the simple next best steps, maybe you're starting to look at your superannuation, your 401k, your retirement account, and you're concerned because you have 10 to 15 years until retirement, and you know that if you've got a fund that's performing at 7, 8, 9%, unfortunately, your retirement savings are going to get eaten alive in this environment. And so you have to be making the shift and taking ownership of your own retirement account now. And many people are choosing to deploy a significant amount of that into Bitcoin because they know they need to be in an asset that cannot be corrupted, that is absolutely scarce, and they need to be the custodians of their own money, and that's what self-custody of Bitcoin enables you to do. So, the great harvest is coming. Whether you like it or not, this is an unstoppable force, and so my encouragement to you is to not be one of the people who's going to be a casualty in terms of your ability to earn an income, but also in the way that you store and preserve the economic value that you've worked so hard to create. Really, really important stuff. So, people who keep their head in the sand, unfortunately, they're going to lose on two fronts. They're going to lose on the economic front in terms of their income, and they're also going to lose on the savings front in their ability to protect and preserve their savings and everything that they've worked so hard to create. So please don't be a casualty. Understand that Bitcoin is the escape. It is designed for chaos. It is the Life-Raft. It is integrity. It is truth. It is a community. It is an opportunity for you to start detaching yourself from the matrix, to become self-sovereign, to be your own bank, to be the head of security of your own financial life, to protect yourself, your family, your kids. But you've got to take action. You can't just sit on the sidelines and say, oh, that all sounds interesting, and just become one of these casualties. You have to actually do something about all of this. So I can help you with that. If you need to book a call with me, you'll see a link in the show notes. I'd love to meet you on Zoom. Our sessions typically run from 45 minutes to an hour. You'll get tremendous value, I'm sure. You'll see the plethora of reviews on my booking page from people who have calls, because I just take what's complex and I keep it simple, and I can definitely help you on your path. So, don't be on a suicide mission. Do not be on a financial suicide mission. That's my message today. Please be smart. Start moving into a decentralized form of incorruptible money, and don't become a casualty of this oncoming freight train. That's my message today. Love to see you soon. If you'd like to book a call with me, you'll see a link. Other than that, thanks for tuning in. Please share your comments in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Other than that, thanks again. Like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.